Here we go!
Oliver Anthony's song, Rich Men North of Richmond, incorrectly blames the ills of middle-class society on people who are on welfare and buying junk food. He transitions from talking about the ills of people like you and me, as well as those of people experiencing homelessness, to then talking about obese welfare recipients using tax dollars to buy junk food. This is convenient for the establishment because the reality is that middle and lower income earners, as well as the poor, have it worse, because they are seeing a smaller and smaller piece of the economic pie as more of it goes to the top. This is due to 40 years of Reaganomics, aka trickle-down economics, aka supply-side economics pushing the wealth to the top. This has been done through tax policies that favor the wealthy and corporations and the erosion of labor power. However, tricking middle and lower income earners into thinking that they're suffering because their tax dollars are being used to fund welfare is a convenient way to keep them focused on and angry at a powerless demographic. At the same time, they remain unaware of the real source of their loss of buying power. The people who fall for the whole, blame the poor narrative, don't bother to see if there's any connection between their dwindling pay and taxes for welfare. In fact, the people receiving the low pay that Oliver mentions are taxed at a very low rate, because income taxes are progressive. The problem isn't taxes, it's that the paycheck itself is small because labor power has been neutered and has virtually no bargaining power. That said, payroll taxes have had to foot a larger portion of the bill, as corporate taxes have paid less. For most Americans, living paycheck to paycheck has become a harsh reality. The median income in the United States should be around $100,000 a year, had incomes kept pace with the rising costs of living. Over 4 decades of Reaganomics and tax policies favoring the wealthy have eroded the power of labor, resulting in most economic gains funneling to the top echelons of society. While middle and lower income Americans bear the brunt of this inequality, they are often misled into thinking that their dwindling buying power is the result of government assistance programs helping the less fortunate. This diversionary tactic keeps them focused on the wrong issues and prevents them from addressing the root cause of their economic struggles. Here is the real problem. Contrary to the belief that America evolved gradually into a middle-class society, historical data paints a different picture. The era of the robber barons and the Gilded Age persisted right through the 1920s, with America, on the verge of the New Deal, being nearly as unequal as it had been in the 1890s. It was during the late 1930s and the end of World War II that policies initiated by the Roosevelt administration, such as higher taxes on the wealthy, higher corporate tax rates, and pro-union organizing environments, led to an explosion in union membership, tripling the share of the workforce. These changes, along with the introduction of minimum wage laws, Social Security and unemployment insurance, rapidly created a more egalitarian society. However, this era of relative economic equality lasted for more than a generation after World War II. Around 1980, a significant shift occurred. The Reagan administration marked the beginning of a dramatic increase in income inequality, unique to the United States among advanced nations. While technology and globalization played roles, the primary driver was political decisions. For instance, the decline in union membership was largely a result of political decisions that sanctioned union busting. In the 1960s, both the United States and Canada had similar percentages of unionized workers, but today the U.S. has seen a significant decline to just about 11%, particularly in the private sector. This was not due to economic factors but rather political choices, epitomized by Reagan's anti-union stance. This is the real reason so many people work insane hours for BS pay. It's because of legislation that favors the wealthy. But people experiencing poverty make an easy scapegoat. After all, they can't fight back. Challenging the actual halls of power, on the other hand, can seem like a daunting task. So it's easier to turn a blind eye to the real problem, which has actual teeth, and instead blame a powerless demographic.